Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-June 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's get it going immediately. My guides and spirit team, talk to me about Cappy. What do we got here in mid-June? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going immediately. Let's rock. What do we got here for my Capricorn friends here? Guides and spirit team, nice and quick, please. There we go. I got something very similar in the Aquarius reading yesterday. We have this card of somebody trying to lay low or being very drama-free. This is also an aesthetically beautiful card. I always find it interesting when it pops up for multiple different signs in a week, and we'll talk about it. There's a lot of symbolism there. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So we see this lovely lady. She is in that pond surrounded by the various different birds, kind of dressed up like them. So when I see this card, I do think of somebody possibly laying low, trying to stay out of the way, not cause problems, not cause issues, just blending in. So this could be someone you're linked to, like trying not to ruffle any feathers, literally, try not to start any problems. For some of you, that might just be a mode you're in, like, listen, I'm going to do my thing. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of this BS. I'm just going to do my thing, which, I mean, most people like to be drama-free, right? Another thing with this card, I do think since there's a beauty to it, it could be focusing on your aesthetic. So maybe some of you are extra focused on how you present yourself to the outside world, maybe changing things up, how you look, different clothes, whatever it might be. But generally, to me, this is a card of somebody just laying low, right? Like blending in with the crowd, not wanting to start any issue, which I would say is a good energy. But let's get into tarot. I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. Yeah, I'm going to get you 3 of these in the upright. Before we get that juicy, intuitive stuff going, let's shuffle it up here for the Cappies, please. My gods, what do we got for my friends? So, last week's reading was nice, and it was a nice reprieve because it seems like for weeks now, there have been a lot of different challenges popping up in the Capricorn readings. But last week's reading was titled A Happy Ending, or Your Happy Ending. It was one of those. So when I got that type of energy, it did tell me that, hey, whatever it is you're going through, strife, troubles, rough and rugged roads, whatever it might be, it could end out very positive for you, right? We all have our own images of what the prototypical happy ending is, and there was a big focus on that. So the good positive energies were starting to roll in. But let's get it going here. Let's get you 3 cards. As I always say, you know, take this however it hits for you, because these energies are very fluid, never set in stone. We could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, all right? So let's get 3 here for mid-June. What do we got for Capricorn, please? Thank you. Okay, so now we have another card of the self, and that's another thing I've been seeing in recent weeks. We got the Queen of Pentacles to start us off nice and strong here. Beautiful energy generally, and in an earth sign reading, it could be very important. Let's get you 2 more, and we'll really start to break this down. Good for money and things like that. Oh, we got the Wheel of Fortune in position number 2. Now, this could be very big, my friends. You know, if you watch my channel, I love the Wheel of Fortune. It's one of my favorite cards. We'll talk more about it. Let's get one more. It's very deep, okay? And it is positive Jupiter energy. Okay, strength card here on the back. So this could talk about some sort of test or trial, which once again, I said we did see. But strength also positive. So on its face, these are looking okay, Capricorn. Let's go through. I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the juicy intuitive stuff going. Now, at first glance, when I look down at this spread, we have 2 very powerful major arcana with the Wheel of Fortune and strength. In tarot, major arcana speak about strong, powerful, possible, life-changing archetypes, and these ones are absolutely no different, and a card of the self. But let's go through one by one. We'll talk about it. Position number 1, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, or anything in between. The Queen of Pentacles could represent you as a Capricorn. When we see this in my simplistic style, it could be, when we clarify it, what's something coming towards you, a way you might be feeling. But in general, when we see this Queen of Pentacles, It's a very positive card, a stable card, very abundant. I say this is the Empress light. So when we see her, we think of earthly abundance. You might be very focused on your money and your work, situations like that deal with the material. But when I get this Queen of Pentacles, I think of blessings, right? Generally, if this isn't representing a person, it's that divine feminine aspect that's very abundant indeed, especially next to a card like the one we have right next to it. Now let's tuck her in right here and get over to this Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy right here. We love the wheel. I always say this is like a 4-leaf clover in any reading. Like, it's a luck charm. It's a possible swing of good luck coming your way. You might want to play some numbers when we have this card show up. There's other themes and archetypes here as well. This is one of the karmic cards that speak of karmic cycles, the karmic cycles of life that we all go through, right? So we'll need to break into this a little further. It's extremely spiritual as well. And I could say the same for strength. There's a divine energy connected to these two back-end major arcana, which is really nice. Also with the wheel, this can speak of inevitable change or cycles that we're going through. So you might be going through powerful change here, but this is for the positive. Like I said, all cards have positive and challenges, and these are not different. But I'm feeling okay so far. Now, as we get to the very back end, we have the Strength card. For some of you, this could represent a Leo. You might have some Leo placements in your own chart, but when I see the Strength card, if it's not a person, once again, to me, this is a card of your inner strength, your determination, your will, your drive. It's fighting one's demons with love as opposed to brute force. So this is a very loving, caring, nurturing type of energy. When we see this, you might need a big old bear hug. Don't worry, I got you. I'll give you a virtual one, my friends. Strength is all about that tender love and care when we see it. But next to a karmic card like this, it could speak about tests, trials, tribulations. So it's going to be very important what shows up when we clarify this card. Generally positive, like I said, and when we get all these cards together, I mean, there could be a lot of very powerful energy that you're dealing with and contending with here, Capricorn, but I really want to dive deeper on all of it. So let's do that. We're going to jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Capricorn, reset this deck, see what's going on for my friends, guides and spirit team. Okay. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Queen of Pentacles, right? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Queen of Pentacles. What's coming up for my friends? Hopefully some good things here. What's up with that Queen? And also I want to mention that Queens do represent the world of the inner. So, okay, yeah, we have the Five of Cups. This could be somebody either very sad about some sort of situation that elapsed with you, or some of you might just be going through some sort of emotional slump or an emotional challenge of some sort. The Five of Cups is the River of Tears. Okay, so when I see it under a card that represents you, it's very simple, straight on its face. This could be somebody that is hurting, going through one. Now, I always say cards like this, challenge cards, they're on a big spectrum. This could be someone that's a little bit gloomy, a little pessimistic, but this could also be something like heartbreak, pain, loss. So we'll want to see how the rest of this shows. Now, remember, we have the wheel right next to it. This could speak about these energies changing and moving out. But as of right now, there could be somebody, there's a little energy of grieving here. Okay, or just upset, sadness, loss, possibly. So if that's not an energy you're feeling, this could be someone that has those feelings towards you. There's a little bit of regret here right in the front, okay? And I really don't want to overcomplicate these energies. It just feels very simple, straightforward to me. But yeah, there could absolutely be regret tied in. I know I just gave you 3 or 4 different messages there, but we're just going to keep pressing forward. Let's get over to that wheel, okay? Because that might just be our starting point right here. Could even be the past. So why is this wheel here for Capricorn? And I think that Strength card is going to be very important as well. So why is the wheel here? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is a lot of determination. This is something you have to watch out for. We have the Five of Swords underneath this Wheel of Fortune. And it's given me a very similar energy to what I saw right in the beginning. Remember, I was saying that somebody was like, all right, I'm laying low. I don't want any mess. I don't want any drama. I don't want to ruffle any sort of feathers. The Five of Swords is generally a card of conflict, right? This could represent people you may have dealt with that are very narcissistic, egotistical, but it's a card of conflict. So also, we're seeing repeating fives here. So maybe Spirit is giving you a heads up about a specific person or a situation, like, hey, that might be harder than you think. Okay, like if you're going through a situation or one is lining up, it might be harder to deal with than you think. Now, a good thing with this Five of Swords, it is determination to win, keep it moving, and keep it pushing. So under a good luck charm card like this Wheel of Fortune, this Five of Swords could be a good thing. That if you have been going through a rough one, nothing is going to break you down here. There's a lot of determination, especially with this Strength card on the back end. So you might overcome or triumph over a big challenge here. That's a nice thing I'm catching. Okay, so whatever challenges, trials, tribulations, you could triumph and overcome those. If this isn't representing a nasty person, okay? We'll just leave it at that. Because once again, the Five of Swords is a card that could represent like somebody hurting one's feelings or hurting someone else's feelings. We're going to move over to the Strength card, and then we'll go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Interesting stuff here, Capricorn. So let's see what's up with that Strength before we get into our recap. So why is Strength here for my friends? Thank you. Okay, Page of Swords in reverse. Okay. All right, there is something that you might have to do, but you really don't want to. All right, there could be a situation where you know you have to deal with it, but for some reason you just, there's something in you where it's like, I don't even want to look. I don't even want to watch this. I don't want to deal with this. Whatever it is. So with the Page of Swords in reverse, yes, you could be having issues with an air sign, right? This to me is the Watcher of the tarot deck. So when I see this card in reverse underneath the Strength card, it's like, I'm going to force myself not to watch that. I'm going to force myself not to give energy to it. Okay, so some of you might have to like forcibly pull your energy back, pull your energy to you and say, you know what, I'm not paying attention. I'm not feeding into this. I'm going to stay on the straight and narrow in my own path, on my own lane. So just in this time, just don't let anyone pull you into their situations or issues. Watch out for outside influences. I'm really catching this right here on the back end. Now, for another portion of you, once again, this is some triumph. This is overcoming as well. So if you are going through choppy times, if you're not feeling the best, you're not feeling too hot, this is optimal and positive moving forward, even if right now things might seem a little bit tough. The Page of Swords in reverse could also represent defenses coming up or things starting to smooth over. So we could see improvement throughout this, but there are still a couple of little warnings here, regardless of the situations you're going through. But let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. Interesting how this all played out together. But if you kindly look in the box, position number one, we have the Queen of Pentacles with the Five of Cups here. We have repeating fives. We have double major arcana. We got all sorts of stuff happening here, Capricorn. Now, initially, this to me felt like two major messages. Either there is somebody who's upset over you or grieving a situation that involves you for whatever reason. Like this, someone that could be hurting, sad, or upset one way or another. But another vibe here, you might be feeling a little gloomy. You might feel a little down in the dumps emotionally, right? There could be some emotional challenges as we move through here. But as we get to the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Five of Swords in the upright. This could be very positive, but there could also be challenges here. This could be warning about a very specific person, someone hurting one's feelings on purpose, being a little spiteful. But I also got the vibe of like nothing breaking you down, nothing gonna stop your progress. Like keep it going, keep it moving here. There's an energy of overcoming. There's an energy of triumph, getting over those roadblocks and hurdles. So that could be very good. As we get to the back end, we get a little more of this energy trickling in. We have the Strength card with the Page of Swords in reverse. I did say for some of you, there might be a situation or an issue you're dealing with where you really might not want to, but you know you have to. It's like, I really wish this would just go away for whatever reason. But once again, there's this inner strength, this inner determination to triumph and overcome. A lot of you might be very much motivated to just keep it moving and stay in your own lane. I did say in this time, particularly watch out that other people aren't dragging you into their issues and problems. So please take a screenshot of that, Capricorn. We're going to get you a shadow card going. Okay. And remember, these could be separate things. It could be all one thing. It really depends on what you're going through. But let's get a shadow card here. What's up with Capricorn, please? I feel like that reading was a bit of a mixed bag because there was a lot of positivity, but there was also, you know, some little choppiness, but such is life, right? Let's see what's in the shadows here. What's in the shadows for Capricorn? Nothing treacherous, I'll say that. There's a positive. Thank you. Okay, Four of Cups. You might be in your head a little bit here, or somebody is, when we have the Four of Cups in the shadows. This is a big card of overthinking, being stuck in one's mind. And remember, when we look at a shadow card, we're looking at the shadow side of these energies. Generally, this could be spirit saying like, hey, don't let opportunities pass you by. Don't be so stuck in, you know, what you're thinking about or what has already happened to not see what you have coming up in front of you. But the Four of Cups is all about mindset, right? How you see things, how you view things. And remember, I did say there was this little battle against gloominess, pessimism. So in this time when we have the Four of Cups, it's extra important for you to, you know, really not get up in your head too much, or don't be your own worst enemy mentally, right? Like, spring into action if necessary. Don't just sit and think things into oblivion. It's more about action when this card shows up in the shadows. So like fixing or keeping one's mindset strong is extremely important here. Okay, so Capricorn, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.